This is a big self-propelled craftsman, and this video was about how a mouse can cause your mower not to run. If you ever have one of these mowers that is self-priming, in other words, you don't have to push a bulb, you just pull the cord and your mower starts. This is one of those, and what happens is you store your mower out in a garage or a shed outside or under a deck somewhere. They make ideal settings for a mouse to build a nest and raise their young. And I've seen this more times than I care to remember, but they always build the nest in the exact same spot on these mowers. They build it right up around the just above the muffler and to the left of the ignition coil. And I think that's because their entry point is probably underneath this muffler here, but I'm not 100% sure about that. But the bottom line is that this mass of nest building material, especially with these self-priming mowers, it's going to interfere with this long linkage that connects to the carburetor and chokes it. And then when it warms up, this arm swings forward and opens up the throttle, and the mixture then leans out and it runs at the correct RPM without being choked. But when you first start these, you got to choke them, and that's what this arm does, is it chokes your mower when it's cold to get it started. And it's not going to function properly. Let me put it a little closer here so you can see what I'm talking about. This arm here swings forward and it opens the choke plate as it warms up. And what causes that to move is underneath this mouse nest is not being allowed to function properly is a thermostat, and it's right there. Okay, and this is in the correct position. It doesn't fit through that hole or anything. It just rests on the front of the arm to this thermostat. So the thermostat warms up from the exhaust gases coming through this muffler, and it starts to move forward and allows this to move forward because this is being pulled on by that spring. So that spring is what's keeping this in the choke position. So it's choked now. As it warms up, it's going to force that spring to move and stretch out, and then it's going to open and it's going to let a leaner mixture come in. So you want a rich mixture, rich full of fuel when your engine's cold. And that's what a primer does. A primer is squirting raw fuel into your carburetor. And with these chokes, you know, it's closing that throttle plate or closing that choke plate, and then when you pull the cord, it draws fuel in there. So you get raw fuel that way with the self-priming mechanism. So anyway, this mouse has made all this impossible by building this rather spectacular nest. So I'm going to try and take this apart, and we're going to do it together. So I'm going to start removing the nest. Just got me some needle nose pliers here. grab a big chunk of it and put that in the trash can. If you're in the Southwest United States, be careful of hantavirus. I'm in South Carolina, so that's not a problem here. But this has all got to come out for this to work properly. And this is the critical part. Because this could run. I mean, I wouldn't want to run it that way because it's not going to cool properly with all this nest debris here. This is one of the most impressive mouse nests I've seen. This thing is really got a lot of material in it. I'm trying not to stir this up too much because I sure don't want to breathe in a lot of dust from this. Pretty nasty work. Pretty nasty work. But it's got to be done if I'm going to get this mower to run. There's remnants of an acorn that the little mouse ate. There's another little acorn over there that he ate over by the automatic governor. All right, hang with me here. We're going to get all this stuff out of here. Now this mower is going to require some more work because it had a bent blade, which I've removed. I put a new blade on it. But whenever they're bent like that, that may mean that the previous owner hit something hard enough to where if it bent the blade, it very easily could have sheared the flywheel key. And if they've sheared the flywheel key, the timing of the spark arriving to the piston and the combustion chamber is going to arrive at the wrong time. So it's going to be a problem. It could result in it kicking back on you or throwing a lot of oil out. There's, depending on where on that 360 degrees of that flywheel turning, the spark arrives will dictate whether it's going to start and run or do other strange things that you don't want, like not running or kicking back on you, which can really hurt. Can really hurt your arms. Okay, you can see where I about got most of this stuff out of here, so I'm going to sign off here in a second. I just wanted to show you this function now, okay? So here, this is all correct. It's got the spring on. That all looks good. But I could not move this arm, so I had to take off the cover, remove the two screws that hold that down, which are on both sides. Then I removed the blower housing and rewinder. And so now this should move. Let's see if it does. Okay, see that's, so what happens is this mower is going to get, the hot gas has come through this muffler, and this bottom of this is connected to that, and there's a thermostat on the end of it. So it expands, and then it pushes this out of the way as it gets warm. And then you're getting a leaner mixture, and the mower will run correctly. But when it's cold like it is now, it's in the closed position. So this mower is never going to run correct with all this around. So we've got most of it out. I'll finish this up off camera, but just wanted you to see that that's what a mouse can do to your mower and make it very difficult for your mower to run right.